Thank you. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Inuit, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 41st Nation and Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to introduce the members of the panel today, the secretary to the board and the assessor. The panel members today are Jerry Arnell via Zoom, Doug Marks to my left. Our assessment department personnel is Mackenzie Omachinsky. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Our administrative personnel are Tristan Braden to my right and Fran Capato to his right. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 2, 4, 7, 9, and 12 to 14. Mr. Braden, no, not Mr. Braden. Ms. Picoto, please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony. Mr. Braden, next to me.
Mr. Assessor, please unmute. Please state your full name.
Mackenzie Omachinsky.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
And just before we proceed, I understand that the applicant for items 2 and 4.
We've had the applicant for item 4 join, but the applicant for item 2 is not present.
Okay, so then should we proceed with item 4 at this time?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Okay.
I will just affirm the second assessor.
Okay.
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Rutinson.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. And now we have our applicant for item number 4. Sorry, we will place the other applicants in the waiting room. Hello, Ms. Applicant, please unmute.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Please state your full name.
Kaylee Wills Warwick.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will place item 2 at the end of the agenda and see if the applicant for item 2 makes an appearance. So for item 4, which is 98 Ravine Drive, Mr. Assessor, could I please have you make your presentation?
Yes. For subject property, 98 Ravine Drive, neighborhood area 519 Minnetonka, roll number 08001218800. The building type is 2-story. It is a single-family dwelling. The year built is 1990. The living area is 2,984 square feet. The basement type is a full basement. The basement is finished. There is 2 full bathrooms, 2 half bathrooms, 3 showers. There is central air. There's 2 fireplaces, and there is a multiple attached garage and a sunroom. The assessed lot size is 9,446 square feet, and there is no land influences. For the comparables, comparable 1 falls under the neighborhood area of 523 Victoria Crescent, as well as comparable 3, and comparables 2 and 4 fall under the neighborhood area 519 Minnetonka. All comparables are 2-story single-family dwellings. The range of year built is 1968 to 1990. The range of living area is 2,274 square feet to 2,734 square feet. All comparables have a full basement. Comparables 1 to 3 have a finished basement, and comparable 4 does not. The range of bathrooms is full bathrooms, sorry, is 1 to 2. The half bathrooms is 1 to 3, and showers is 0 to 3. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 have a multiple attached garage, and comparable 2 has a multiple detached garage. The range of assessed lot sizes is 9,454 square feet to 12,090 square feet. The land influences for comparable 2 is a community/rec building. The range of time adjusted sale price is 610,000 to 784,500, and the time adjusted sale price per square foot would be $252 $252.93 per square feet and $308.37 per square foot. My recommendation is to maintain the assessment of $767,000 to reflect the April 1st, 2023 market value change. And I would like to include that the subject property sold within the sales reference period with a time adjusted sale price of $770,000. Thank you.
Madam applicant, do you have any questions of the assessor?
I guess the only question I have is when I called to, I guess, get some information on the comparables, they had given me some of the similar addresses you just used, but some different ones. I guess just wondering why that was.
So there'll be auto comparables that are provided like through our website. But when we do the research for the property, I would find my own comparables to bring as evidence to the board instead.
Thank you. That was the only question I had.
Okay.
Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Just clarification, you said this property was sold for $770?
No, the time adjusted sale price was $770. It sold, sorry,
No, okay, no, I just want clarification on that. So that's
Okay.
time adjusted.
correct, yes.
Okay, no other questions other than that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions this time, thank you.
I just have one request, and that is, could I please ask you to repeat for the record the roll number of this particular property? I'm not sure I heard it properly.
Yes, 08008121800.
Thank you. Madam applicant, would you like to make your presentation now, please?
So we had bought the property in October 2020 for $657,500 for a price per square foot of $220. We had the property appraised by an independent third party for at September 2023, and they had appraised it for $700,000. We haven't made any changes to the home since October 2020. It pretty much remains all in its original state as sold there. And I think that was evidenced in the pictures provided by the appraiser. It was built in 1990. A lot of it is still original and is, I would say, quite aged. I would say the property is probably actually in worse shape than when we bought it. Just through normal wear and tear, and it is quite aged, and some pieces are kind of breaking down. I presented two comparable properties, so 138 Ravine and 23 River Point. Both of those are quite close to the home. I would say that they are very similar inside. One of them has a pool, but they are both of a kind of a similar type 1990s type original home. And the price per square foot those sold at was on the time adjusted, so that same April 2023 value was $229.68 per square foot for the Ravine property and $223.59 for the River Point property. And sorry, I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was $220 per square foot when we bought it, and the independent appraisal value was $234 per square foot. I guess my comments on some of the comparatives that were provided, I think I would argue that Victoria Crescent and Solmy, I don't know if that's how it's said, but I think that was, I go back, which comparable was that? Comparable one. That neighborhood, while those houses are a bit older, I would say that neighborhood is a more desirable neighborhood, and those properties are probably not as comparable as maybe some of the ones I've presented. And then 142 River Point, which is one of the other comparables, had, I think, some more upgraded bathrooms and a little bit of a newer interior than mine did. That was everything I had.
Thank you. Mr. Assessor, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Yes. Has there been any changes since the purchase was made to the property?
No, nothing significant. Painted a few bedrooms, but no real renovations or upgrades to the property.
Okay, thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Thank you. Mr. Marks, any questions?
My question has been asked, and thank you.
Mr. Arnell, any questions?
No, none at this time, thanks.
Thank you. Can you tell me, Madam Applicant, what the date of sale was for these two comparisons that you were using?
Oh, I had pulled the price adjusted comparison, so then that would both be April 2023. So I had pulled that value from the information that was publicly available. I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head what date they were actually sold. I could pull that up though.
That's okay. Thank you. That's all of my questions. Does anybody want to do a synopsis or a summary?
I guess, oh, sorry, was that for me?
That's okay, Mr. Assessor?
Yeah, so I believe the valuation date for the appraisal completed was September 11th, 2023, which would be out of the reference period. And yeah, so I believe that the values for those comparables might have been adjusted to that date instead of April 1st, 2023.
Oh, sorry.
So
On,
as we currently have it at the 767,000 is better supported based off of other comparables we've provided.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry, I couldn't hear that. Sorry, Madam Applicant. I couldn't hear the second assessor there. Could you please repeat that?
Yes, sorry. So based off of the information that the post-reference appraisal date, we believe that the value is better supported at the current value that we have stated at 767,000 based off of our comparables.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Applicant, do you have a summary? Sorry.
yes, I guess the appraised value was at September 2023. We were buying another property, and so our bank did an appraisal. The comparables I presented and those values, the 138 Ravine and 23 River Point, were at April 2023, not at September 2023. So they were the same value adjusted as the other properties that were presented. I guess my summary would be that I believe 700,000 is a more fair assessment, given that no improvements have been made to the property, and that was the assessed value that we were given by a third-party appraiser. I think that some of the other properties are not as comparable as the ones that I had presented, which have a more similar, about $223 to $230 per square foot.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Having concluded item 4, we'll move on to item 7, unless the applicant for item 2 has appeared.
No.
Okay, well, let's move item 2 right to the end of the agenda then. So that would be Mr. Cesario.
Yeah, we just read it.
Okay, Ms. Mikado, do you want to affirm
Yes.
Mr. Rosario, please?
Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Rosario Cesario.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Assessor, I will turn it over to you to make your presentation, please.
Thank you. I'm presenting property 220 Dunkirk Drive, the neighborhood area of 523 Victoria Crescent, roll number 0800240700. The building type is a 1-story. It's a single-family dwelling. The year built is 1962. The living area is 1,278 square feet. The basement is a full basement that is finished. There is one full bathroom, two half bathrooms, one shower. There is central air. There's two fireplaces, a single attached garage, and a sunroom. The assessed lot size is 18,458 square feet. The land influences are a bus route, heavy traffic, and Red River adjacent. For the comparables, comparable 1 falls under 5 to 3 Victoria Crescent, and comparables 2 to 4 fall under 519 Minnetonka. For the building type, comparable 1 is a bi-level, and comparables 2 to 4 are 1-story. The range of year built is 1960 to 1974. The living area is 1,238 square feet to 1,531 square feet. All comparables have a full basement that is finished. The range of full bathrooms is 1 to 2. The range of half bathrooms is 0 to 2, and the range of showers is comparables 1 to 4 all have 1 shower. All comparables have central air. The range of fireplaces is 0 to 1. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 have a single, comparables 1 and 2 have a single attached garage. Comparables 3 and 4 have a multiple attached garage. Comparables 1 also has a detached garage. Comparable 3 has an in-ground pool. The range of assessed lot size is 9,895 square feet to 21,788 square feet. Comparable 1 for land influences has a bus route, community rec building, heavy traffic, Red River, and Red River adjacent. Comparables 2 has a bus route, bus stop, external corner, and heavy traffic. Comparable 3 has a bus route and light traffic. And comparable 4 does not have land influences. The range for the time-adjusted sale price for the comparables is $485,900 to $632,900. And then the time-adjusted sale price per square foot is $328.80 per square foot and $416.38 per square foot. My recommendation is based off these comparables to reduce the assessment to $591,000 to better reflect the April 1st, 2023 market value change. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, do you have any questions of the assessor? Mr. Applicant, I think you're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. I was just wondering, Mr. Applicant, if you had any questions for the assessor.
No, I've talked to him on the phone once already, and we couldn't seem to agree on the comparables that he's pulled up to what I have. So I don't have anything to ask of him.
Okay. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Just one, the lot size on the subject property is considerably larger than the comparables, except for number 2.
Yes, that is true. It was more difficult to find a lot size similar with comparables that still shared similar improved property characteristics.
And how close is the river to this particular property?
It's to the subject property, sorry?
Yes.
It's river adjacent, so the property line does go down to the river.
Okay, thank you very much. No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, in your opinion, is the river bordering property more valuable than the stuff on the south side of Abinigi-Mickinaw?
I believe I couldn't speak to the value, but I believe it is a positive. It would be a positive influence.
Okay. And Okay, so you're 591,000 there, so you're based that on 462.44 a square foot for your recommendation?
It would be based off of the comparables, not directly a price per square foot, but the arriving at 591,000.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm just wondering, for the subject property, I noticed that this property has 2 fireplaces as opposed to 1 for the comparisons. What kind of a difference would that make in your assessment?
It would be a marginal difference, I believe.
Okay, I also see that this property is the only one that has a sunroom out of all of the comparables. What kind of a difference might that make in your assessment?
It's dependent on the size of the sunroom. But again, I wouldn't be able to give it a value other than it would be a positive. It would increase the assessed value for having a sunroom.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Applicant, would you like to make your presentation, please?
Yeah, so I got a comparative market analysis done. Unfortunately, I am going through a separation, so we had to get this professionally done by a third party to get an assessed value of the house. The comparatives that the real estate agent was Linda Mack and team from Royal LePage Prime who did the assessment. She had 4 assessments to offer. 2 were ones that were in the same, I guess, realm as the house that we are in terms of square footage. And then the other 2 were ones that were on our actual street of Dunkirk Drive, to show us the difference of those values. Now the comparative market, the ones that were the closest to for the analysis, I know the market value on the that we're dealing with is April 1st of 2023. The ones that she pulled up for us were June of 2023. So we're looking at a 2-month difference. But when you see the value of those properties, I mean, 2 months, is it going to change the outcome of what the difference in the properties are? Maybe by a few percentage points, but not by the gap that I believe exists that in the comparables. The first one is on Lyndale Drive, which was a sell price of $571,000 on a 1,350 square foot house, single family detached home, 3 bedrooms, the 2 full baths, 1 half bath. This one again sold at $571,000 in 2023, June of 2023. The second one is a 1,493 square foot house, which is significantly larger than what I have. 2 bedroom, 2 full baths. And this one sold at $500,000 in June of 2023 as well. The other comparatives were again on Dunkirk Drive. Now these houses much larger. The first one was a 2,160 square foot home. This one sold. This one was a sell date of November 2023, which was $680,000. But again, quite a difference in size of the home. And the other one, which sold this year, $650,000, was also a 2,500 square foot home, which again, you're looking at 1,200 square foot difference. And that one again sold at $650,000. So yeah, I just think the range seems to be off. And even the comparables that was given by the assessor, Mackenzie, I believe. I'm sorry. You know, when you look at the assessment per square footage, I'm at $495 a square foot, where the closest comparable when it comes to land and house, the 253 River, is $402 a square foot. So I'm just trying to figure out how are we over $93 a square foot in difference when we're looking at the same almost lot size, that one being a bit bigger. House size is only 3 square feet of a difference. Single story, the only difference being the sunroom. And again, to have it at over $90 a square foot in difference is seems a little off to me. And that's what I would like to understand, is how these numbers are comparables when land size is the same, house is the same, but price per square foot isn't even close to what mine is trying to be assessed at.
Does that conclude your presentation, Mr. Cesario?
Yeah, I think that's, all that I got. To me, it seems off when I have a professional comparison done by a real estate agent. The one thing, there's a cover letter on that too, that said if listed today, 2024, I think this was done just 3 months ago, she has the value of the house as a listing house at $550,000 is what, it says, I personally inspected the exterior and interior of 220 Dunkirk Drive. It's my opinion that the value of the subject house is in its existing condition is $550,000 for the following reasons. Sorry, let me just add a few more. The inside, the kitchen is dated. The original main floor bathroom and 2 small dated 2-piece ensuite. On the outside, the garage floor has dropped approximately 3 inches, which has caused huge cracks in the garage floor. The sunroom is pulling away from the house, and therefore the doors and windows do not close. And the back deck is also sunk and needs work. So that was done by the real estate agent. That was her opinion of value as of this year at $550. So even at $591, which again is I understand is for the year 2023, but when prices in the city rise at 2, maybe 3% a year, we're talking about a $41,000 difference, even if it's put at $591, let alone the $633,000 that it was originally assessed at. So again, there's such a large gap between what the assessments are saying and what a real estate agent is saying that we've had the analysis done for.
Thank you. Just to acknowledge, before I turn this over to the assessor, all of the comparisons that you have offered to us today are outside of the reference period that we are considering. You did mention that you were aware of that.
They are, but I mean, they're off by 2 months. 2 months. The first 2 are off by 2 months. So I mean, we're right on the edge of that.
Okay, I just wanted to note that they are all outside of the reference period.
Yeah.
And as I had indicated in the introduction, unfortunately, that can't be considered by this board, but perhaps, I don't know, do you have any other information that is within the reference period that you could provide to us today?
The comparable number 2 is the closest one that the assessor did, the 21,000 square feet to 18,000 square feet in terms of land, sale price of 480. And then again, the square footage, that's the one I'm looking at 402, where I'm at 495. So just that comparable is I think the closest one to what we can go with. And it just seems like, again, it's quite a large gap.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'm gonna turn it over to the assessor to see if he has any questions for the applicant at all.
Yes, I just have one question. Do you have any quotes for I know that in your presentation you were describing some issues with the home with the sunroom. detaching from the house or the like kitchen ceiling and such. I was wondering if you had any quotes available just for like repairing.
I don't have any quotes as of right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Yes, according to the letter from your realtor, the kitchen is sort of in a state of disrepair right now.
No, just the ceiling. It was like a drop ceiling, and some of the plastic pieces were loose. I have an 8-year-old child, and I just decided to take those down because I didn't want anything to fall. So it's not disrepair. That there's nothing wrong with the counters, the cupboards, the appliances. It was just the roof, just the ceiling that I took down the plastic pieces that were covering the lights. That's it.
Now, there's some things on the exterior of the home. Garage floors drop, causing cracks in the garage floors, sunroom going away, windows aren't closing. Any idea what sort of a dollar figure it would take to get these things back into a good operating condition?
I don't know. I know that I have to call it's a mud jacking that has to be done. You know, I do not know what the cost of that would be. I don't even want to guess. I know it's not cheap, but I'm not gonna say something that I don't know. But I know it has to be mud jacked.
Okay. That's all the questions I have at this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Just following on the same lines, like your says an original main floor bathroom. It's just never been renoed, or there's something wrong?
Nothing wrong with it, just old pink
Okay.
tiles. It's just old. That's all.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, and my questions have been asked and answered, so I will turn it over to the assessor if you have a summary.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I wanted to restate that comparable to does not share Red River adjacent influence, which has a strong positive influence, and I believe it does support the assessment of 591,000.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, do you have a summary you would like to provide?
I think I've said everything I could say. No, I'm good. I think the gap is a little too big. That's all.
Okay, thank you both for your presentations, and having heard item 7, we will move on to the next item on our agenda, which I believe is item 9. Victoria Crescent.
We do not have an applicant present.
And we haven't heard from?
No.
Okay, so we'll move item 9 to the end of the agenda then. And we will move on to the next item, which is item 12, 6 Boxwood Cove.
We also do not have an applicant present for that one.
Okay, we'll move that to the end of the agenda as well. And move on to item 13, which is 35 Victoria Place.
Were you going to be the applicant?
Sorry, it's Victory Place, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. And I know we have an applicant present for that one. Yes.
Hi, sorry,
Hi.
I was just working while listening, okay.
No problem, thank you. Okay, could you please affirm the applicant? Thank you.
Ms. Applicant, please state your full name.
Sure, Carmel Pauline Marie LaFrance.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Assessor, we'll turn it over to you to make your presentation, please.
Thank you. This is for the 2024 assessment. This is the subject property is 35 Victory Place. The neighborhood area is 516 Barnes, I believe the pronounce. Yeah.
Lorenz, yeah.
Barnes, okay, thank you. The roll number is 0800091150. The building type is 1.5 story. It's a single family dwelling. It was built in 1947. The living area is 1,189 square feet. The basement type is a full basement that is finished. There is 2 full bathrooms, no central air conditioning, and no fireplaces or attached or detached garages, no in-ground pool, and no sunroom. The assessed lot size is 4,647 square feet. And then for our comparables, all comparables fall in 516 Varnes, and they are all also 1.5 story buildings and single family dwelling. The year built ranges from 1924 to 1947. The living area ranges from 1,064 square feet to 1,175 square feet. Comparables 2 to 4 have a full basement that are finished, and comparable 1 has a full/part basement type that is not finished. The bathrooms, comparables 1 to 4 all have 1 full bathroom. Comparables, and then the range for half bathrooms is 0 to 1. The range for showers is also 0 to 1. For central air, comparables 1 and 2 have central air, and 3 and 4 do not. And then for detached garages, comparables 1, 3, and 4 have detached garages, and comparable 2 does not. The ranges for assessed lot size are 4,446 square feet to 5,120 square feet. And the time adjusted sale price for the comparables are the range is $200,068,600 to $315,600. The time adjusted square price per square foot is $240.17 per square foot, and 272 cents per square foot. My recommendation is to maintain the assessment of $309,000 to reflect the April 1st, 2021 market value change. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam applicant, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Sure, just one. So the comparable 337 Victory Place, which are my neighbors and they're lovely people, they do have actually air conditioning, but as you are aware, with houses that have boiler systems, you cannot have central air, but they do have, I guess you would consider a heat pump or whatever outside. So I just want to mention that 37 Victory Place, I think air conditioning should be factored into that one. So,
Thank you.
and also, I'm just questioning one more question. How about paved like driveways? Is that a factor?
To my knowledge, I do not believe a paved driveway is.
Okay. Okay, that's all I have for the 2024.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions?
Have you ever inspected this house?
I have not inspected it, no.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Marks, any questions?
Yes, have you done any upgrades to the house, like taken out any building permits or anything like that?
So, currently, so I bought this house, which it was a flip. So let's just put that on the table that this was quickly flipped. And I bought the house with a 70-year-old boiler system, and a picture was in my appeal. Well, that kind of was going kaput over the winter. So I have now put in a forced air system. So I've had to put in my own ductwork, and I put in a forced air system with air conditioning and heating. So to me, I mean, that's just the basics to have heating in your home. But so the boiler system is now gone. That was just completed last week. I haven't done the gas inspection yet, so that's the honest truth about the boiler system for my home.
Thank you. Mr. Marks, any other questions
Yes.
of the assessor at all?
No, that's it, no.
Okay. I noticed that the year built for this particular home, Mr. Assessor, was 1947, but the effective year built is 1967. Can you tell me what upgrades, if any, have occurred in this home?
Yeah, so I think she described before that there was a flip completed prior to the purchase of the home. So some of those things would be the kitchen being redone. It could be I'm not sure the exact particulars, but the kitchen had, I know for a fact the kitchen had been redone, that there likely had been some updates to the bathroom and the flooring.
Thank you.
But this was flipped like this summer, like last
Okay, I'm gonna
November.
give you an
Yeah.
opportunity to
Yeah,
make your
sure.
presentation right away. So I was also wondering, I have one more question for the assessor, and that is, I'm wondering what you think the best comparison would be out of the ones that you have presented to us.
Just one moment, please. Okay, I do believe that 37 Victory Place is the best comparison. I will disclose that it was a private sale, although there were permits for a kitchen reno. So I also believe that there had been similar updates completed with that home as well, to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Madam applicant, would you like to make your presentation now, please?
Oh, sure. So as we discussed, like this was a flipped home. I'm just assuming it was probably purchased for around 280. Private sale, like and then, we bought off the realtor. So I had bought it for 350, which, was for sure overpriced. But the market is what it is. I think my close comparison would be more 25 Victory Place, because they have a garage, but and a fence. See, it's hard to find any properties like mine because I don't have a garage or a fenced in yard. I think that being reassessed mid-year was not great. If I was to be reassessed mid-year, I should be more in like the 290 range. I went from 40, up $44,000 in 2024. And then, yeah. So my whole argument basically is that the reason I'm appealing it is that I feel like being assessed mid-year was unfair, and that the assessment is quite high because it's hard to find a comparable to my home, as my home does not have a fence or a garage. It did not have air conditioning at the time. And I believe like a garage adds more value than air conditioning, in my personal opinion. And I mean, the same argument goes for 2025 too. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Assessor, do you have any questions of the applicant?
I do not at this time, no.
Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the applicant?
Yes, what do you feel your property be valued at? Or should be assessed at, sorry.
I believe for 2024, it should be in the 290 range. I mean, I know I overpaid 100%, so.
Okay, no further questions. Thank you very much.
Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
And I have no questions. So having completed number 13 on the docket, we'll move to number 14, which is 35 Victory Place. Again, and it is for the 2025 assessment. Okay, Mr. Assessor, could you please make your presentation?
Yes, thank you. So this is subject property 35 Victory Place. Neighborhood area is 516. The roll number is 08000911500. It is a 1.5 story building, single family dwelling built in 1947. The living area is 1,189 square feet. The basement type is a full basement. It is fully finished. There is 2 full bathrooms, no central air, and no attached garage, detached garage, in-ground pool, or sunroom. The assessed lot size is 4,647 square feet. And for the comparables, all the comparables fall in the neighborhood area of 516. They are all 1.5 story building types. The range of year built is 1946 to 1950. The range for living area is 1,157 square feet to 1,188 square feet. Comparables 2 to 4 have finished basements and are also full basements. And comparable 1 is a full basement, but it is not finished. The range for bathrooms is 0 to 1. For full bathrooms is 0 to 1. For half bathrooms, all comparables have 1. And for showers, all comparables have 1 except for comparable 4, which has 0. Comparables 1 and no longer 3, but comparables 1 has no central air conditioning, and comparables 2, 3, and 4 do have central air. And then all 4 comparables have a detached garage. Comparables 1 to 3 is a single detached, and comparables 4 is a multiple detached. The range for assessed lot size is 4,638 square feet to 5,123 square feet. The range for the time adjusted sale price is, 295,200 and to 336,700. The time adjusted sale price per square foot is $252.31 per square foot and $283.42 per square foot. My recommendation is to maintain the assessment of $317,000 to reflect the April 1st, 2023 market value change. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam applicant, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Nope.
Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No, this time, thank you very much.
Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions of the assessor?
Not at this time, thanks.
Thank you, and I have no questions. So I'll turn it over to you, Madam applicant, for your presentation, please.
Sure. So as we've already spoke about 2024, for 2025, again, I can agree with some of these comparables, like comparable 2 for sure, though the lot size is 400 square feet more. The sale price is more recent at 300,000. So, that's still below what my assessment roll is for 317. And if you want to use 37 Victory, though, both of these places have garages and paved driveways. Again, that's assessed at, sale price at 300. So for 2025, I feel like my assessment should be in the range of 290, 300, not 317. Like I said, that's a big jump. Or now we're going up 46,000 from the original 2024. So, and that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Mr. Assessor, do you have any questions of the applicant?
I do not know.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions?
Not at this time, thanks.
Mr. Marks, any
None
questions?
for me at this time, thank you.
And I have no further questions, so I thank you very much for your presentations today, unless one of you would like to make a summary. Mr. Assessor, would you like to make a summary before we move on?
I'm okay at this time.
Okay. Madam Applicant, would you like to make a summary?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much then for the presentation. That will conclude number 14 on our docket today. And having concluded that, I'm wondering if we have heard anything on number 2, 74 River Point Drive.
No, we have received no communication on any of the items.
Okay, so I think that what we're going to have to do is call a recess for a moment to consider whether the board will consider that particular property. Thank you very much. We have decided that we're going to hear the assessor's information on item 2, please. So I'll hand it over to you to provide us with that.
Okay, thank you. So for item number 2, I'm presenting property 74 River Point Drive, neighborhood area Minnetonka, roll number 08008114200. The building type is 2-story, single family dwelling. It was built in 1995. The living area is 2,865 square feet. The basement type is a full basement that is finished. There is 3 full bathrooms, 1 half bathroom, 2 showers. It has central air conditioning, 1 fireplace, and a multiple attached garage, as well as an in-ground pool and a sunroom. The assessed lot size is 10,911 square feet. The land influences are Park and Red River influence. For the comparables, all comparables fall in the Minnetonka neighborhood area. The building type is 2-story. All comparables have the 2-story building type, and they are all single family dwelling. The ranges of for the comparables for year built is 1981 to 2006. The range for living area is 2,647 square feet to 3,332 square feet. They all have full basements that are finished. The range for full bathrooms is 2 to 3. The range for half bathrooms is 1 to 2, and the range for showers is 1 to 2. They all have central air conditioning. Comparables 1, 3, and 4 have 1 fireplace, and comparable 2 has 2 fireplaces. Comparables 1, 2, and 4 have a multiple attached garage, and comparable 3 has a built-in attached garage. The range for assessed lot size is 7,315 square feet to 13,487 square feet. Comparables 1 and 2 share the same land influences as the subject property, and comparables 3 and 4, the land influences for comparable 3 and 4 are Red River adjacent. The range of a time adjusted sale price is 1,402,100 to 768,800. And I apologize for saying that in reverse order. And then for the range for time adjusted sale price per square foot is $290.44 per square foot to $420.80 per square foot. My recommendation based on these comparables is to reduce the assessment to $1,020,000 to better reflect the April 1st, 2023 market value change. Thank you. That is my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Assessor. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions, thank you very much.
Mr. Arnell, any questions of the assessor?
No questions, thanks.
Thank you. I just have one question, and that is on the land influences. I'm wondering, what is the difference between Red River influence and Red River adjacent?
So a Red River adjacent would be the property line going where it touches the river, it ends near the river, and then influence would be like, let's say there would be property that is not within their lot that is separating them from the river. So there might be like a large walkway or a park,
Oh,
but you would still, yeah, you would still have the influence of Red River, the river.
okay, so looking at the map that you have provided, it looks like there is some kind of a walkway or a park or something?
Right. Yeah, between, so are you talking about the subject property?
Yes,
Yes, there would be, just one moment. While I pull that map. Yeah, yeah. There would be, so the park influence would be between
between the river and the house, or
sorry?
between the river and the house, there would be a park.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, thank you. That will conclude item 2 on the docket, 74 River Point Drive. We will now move on to item 9 on the docket, 9 Victoria Crescent, and I'm assuming that we haven't heard from the applicant.
No,
All right, so we're gonna have to recess again for a moment to decide whether the board will hear this.
okay.
All right, Mr. Assessor, could you please make your presentation on number 9 Victoria Crescent? We have decided that the board is going to hear this particular item.
Yes. So the property I'm presenting is 9 Victoria Crescent. The neighborhood area is Victoria Crescent, and the roll number is 08002867600. It is a 1-story building, single-family dwelling. It is built in 1976. The living area is 1,023 square feet. The basement type is a full part area that is finished. The number of bathrooms is 1 full bathroom and 1 half bathroom. It has central air. It has 2 fireplaces, multiple attached garage, and a sunroom. The land influences is no sanitary sewer. The assessed lot size is 28,451 square feet. For the comparables, comparables 1, 3, and 4 all in Victoria Crescent for the neighborhood area, and comparable 2 falls in Minnetonka. The building type for all comparables is 1 story. They are all a single family dwelling. The year built ranges between 1960 to 1971. The living areas range from 1,281 square feet to 1,893 square feet. The basement type for all 4 comparables is a full basement, and they are all finished. For full bathrooms, it ranges from 1 to 2 bathrooms. Half baths ranges from 1 to 2, and showers range from 0 to 3. All comparables have central air. The range of fireplaces is 0 to 2, and comparables 1 and 2 have a single attached garage. Comparable 3 has a multiple attached garage, and comparable 4 has a multiple detached garage. No comparables have a sunroom. The range for assessed lot size is 7,199 square feet to 29,637 square feet. For land influences, comparable 1 has a bus route and medium traffic, and comparable 2 has a bus route, bus stop, external corner, and heavy traffic. And comparable 3 has no sanitary sewer, sharing that influence with the subject property, and comparable 4 has no land influences. The range for time adjusted sale price is 912,000 to the range is 400,300 to 912,000, and the time adjusted sale price per square foot is $307.69 per square foot to $481.77 per square foot. My recommendation is to maintain the assessment. Before I go into my recommendation, I also had included some vacant land comparables. And this would be for Victoria Crescent. There is no number, but it is the property beside the subject property. This sold in June of 2020 with the time adjusted sale price of $552,000, and the lot size is 21,340 square feet. And the second comparable is 27 Victoria Crescent. This sold on June 3rd, 2020. The time adjusted sale price is also $552,000, and the lot size is 21,342, and it also has a land influence of no sanitary sewer. Based on these comparables and vacant land comparables, my recommendation is to maintain the assessment of $541,000 to reflect the April 1st, 2023 market value change. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Assessor. Mr. Marks, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Arnell, any questions of the assessor?
Yes, your comp 1 and comp 2 on your land assessment page, was that the same buyer?
No, it was not.
No. Okay, thank you.
I'm just wondering, you indicated that this is the oldest, I guess, of the properties that you have compared aside from the vacant land properties. And it said the effective year built was 1976 when it was actually built in 1946. Can you tell me a little bit about the upgrades in this home that would change the effective year built to 1976?
I wasn't able to speak with the homeowner or get contact with the homeowner, so I wasn't able to get a description of what changes were made. But I can, if you give me one moment, look, as we may have a permit taken out for the property that
That's
I can.
okay, because if a permit has been taken out, that doesn't necessarily mean that
Right,
was
yeah,
actually done either, but I thank you for that. Then I also see that the subject property has a full part basement as opposed to a full basement, which the others all have a full basement. Can you tell me what kind of an impact that might have on the potential sale of this home?
It would have a negative impact in comparison to a full basement.
Hey, I think that's all my questions. Thank you very much for that presentation, Mr. Assessor. Having concluded number 9 on the docket, 9 Victoria Crescent, we will now move on to number 11 on the docket, 144 Victoria Crescent.
I believe it's 12.
Right.
11 was dropped.
Sorry, 12, 6 Boxwood Cove. Yeah.
And I can begin.
And we have no one.
No one present.
I'm sorry, Mr. Assessor, and panel members, we're gonna have to take a short recess here to decide whether we will hear this particular property.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you. The board has decided we will hear the assessor's presentation of number 12. So I will turn it over to you, Mr. Assessor, for your information.
Thank you. The property I'm presenting is 6 Boxwood Cove. The neighborhood area is Worthington. The roll number is 0800415 8200. It is a bi-level single-family dwelling built in 1984. The living area is 1,058 square feet. It is a full basement that is finished. There is one full bathroom, one half bathroom, one shower. It has central air conditioning, one fireplace, and the assessed lot size is 3,773 square feet. And for the comparables, all comparables fall in the Worthington neighborhood area. They are all bi-level single-family dwellings. The range for the year built is 1983 to 1985. The living area ranges from 983 square feet to 1,040 square feet. Comparables 2 and 4 do not have finished basements. Comparables 1 and 3 do have finished basements. All basements share the same basement type as full basement. Sorry, one moment. The range, so all comparables have one full bathroom. And the range, sorry, and comparables 2 and 4 have no half bathrooms, and comparables 1 and 3 have one half bathroom. Only comparable 3 has one shower, the rest do not have a shower or a standing shower. All comparables have central air. Comparable 1 has a fireplace, and comparables 2 to 4 do not have a fireplace. Comparable 2 has a multiple detached garage. The range for the lot size is 3,773 square feet to 9,862 square feet. Comparable 2 has the land influence of an external corner. The time adjusted sale price for the comparables ranges from $300,400 to $377,200. The time adjusted sale price per square foot ranges from $305.60 per square foot to $362.69 per square foot. My recommendation is to maintain the assessment of $356,000 to reflect the April 1st, 2023 market value change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Assessor. Mr. Arnell, do you have any questions of the assessor?
No questions at this time.
Mr. Marks, do you have any questions?
No questions this time, thank you.
And I have no questions of the assessor. So having completed the docket for today, this session will now be over. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
All right, yeah, take care, everybody.
You too.